as a former corporate entity of VTubers, okay, I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm not saying this is a rule. I'm not saying this applies to everyone, but I'm just going to say this because I feel like 99% of my former colleagues think the same way. Most VTubers, when they graduate, want you to find their new accounts. Okay, I'm just going to say it again, and most of them will continue streaming unless stated otherwise. One person stated that they plan to take a break from the internet. Don't go looking for their stuff then, if that's not what they want, okay? If that's not what they want. Or look for it, follow them, but don't pressure them to start streaming again. But for the other person that left, for anyone else that leaves, they have PLs. And if they start posting or becoming active again on their PLs, that is your signal and their subtle way of hinting, hey, I'm returning to streaming, or hey, you can follow this account. Because back in the day, I was one of the few people in my company that posted on my PL all the time. And it's because I knew I was leaving eventually, okay? And so that's why I was always posting on my PL despite it technically not being allowed or whatever. Now, if y'all may or may not have noticed, it's become kind of a thing that everyone else is doing it. But I think it's good. I think it's good for the talent because if they leave, they can still have a career. If they leave, they can still have a support. If they leave, they can still have their audience. I know I am not one to be like, you can still have your audience. When like, yes, half of my old audience does not like the new direction of my content. They think I might be more problematic now, whatever. That's understandable. That's fine. However, I still want you guys, even if you don't like me, to listen to this, okay? Please support them on their new things and they will want you to find them 99% of the time. So if you know what their PL is or their new streaming account is, and because they can't say what it is on their corporate account, follow them, tell their fans and your friends that are their fans, your moots, everyone where their new account is, where you can find them. They probably want that, okay? Most people's biggest fear when graduating is that they will not have a career afterward and they will have to quit streaming or not make enough money or whatever. And that's what keeps a lot of people in their corporations or their corporate VTuber positions for longer than they actually want to be there. A lot of people, by the time they leave, they seem done, they seem burnt out, and it's not because they suddenly decide to leave. They had wanted to leave for months. They were just scared because it's scary. It's scary to leave behind a platform you spent years building and now overnight it's gone. You didn't work anywhere for those 2 years. You have no work experience. There's a gap in your resume. It's terrifying. So please, if you are a fan of this person and you want them to continue streaming and continue to have a career, follow their new accounts. They will make one. And if they post on their new accounts, they most likely are trying to signal to you, bing, 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 I'm back, or bing, 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 I'm coming back, or bing, 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 follow me in case I leave, okay? So I highly recommend you follow all of your favorite VTubers PLs once they graduate. While they're in their corporation, whether or not you want to follow them is up to your discretion. Personally, I wanted people to, so that when I left, I had a bigger foundation to start with. Some talents don't want that, but my opinion is if they're still posting on it, they probably want you to find it. They just can't tell you that they're still posting on it or tell you that they want you to find it because that's against their contracts. I know there are a lot of people that when they first started, they privated everything. I never did that. I kept everything up because I wanted you to find it. They have recently unprivated it and they're posting again. That means they want you to follow them and they want you to find them. Unless they state otherwise, which former talents have, that's fine. But most people want you to find it. They do. I've talked to these people. I was one of these people. Most of them do. I've maybe heard like 1 or 2 people that don't. And if they don't, they're normally pretty clear about it. If they don't state that they're not doing any content, if they just say they're leaving to try new things, that's their way of saying, hey, I'm leaving to just stream as myself. So follow me as myself. That's what that means. So follow them as themselves. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I highly recommend you support them on their new stuff. And I think the taboo of we can't ever tell their old fans that this is them now is dumb. I think it's dumb, and the only entity you're protecting by doing that is the company that doesn't value them as much as you do as a fan anyways. So why are you giving the company more loyalty than the talent that you supported? That makes no sense. The talent is the same person whether or not they're under a company. The company was just a method for them to gain a bigger platform and a method for the company to make money. The company was using them as, hee, be our little show puppet, make us money. And the talent was using them as, hee, be my little stage so people can actually watch me be your show puppet. And once they part ways, the company no longer can benefit and they can no longer benefit from the company. But I feel like you should be more loyal to the talent because the talent is what makes the VTuber at the end of the day. The design only does so much, okay? The design only does so much. And 99% of the time, the design was given to them. They didn't choose it, okay? They had to embody it once it was picked. So the design to them means a lot less to them as a talent than it does to you as the viewer. And that's just the way it is. And that's the way the industry is. And so I think the design should be the least prioritized thing, especially if you already have a rapport or relationship with the talent that you've watched for a year. If they change their model look, in my opinion, if you stop watching them for that, that's crazy. That's crazy. How can you watch someone for hours and then their little not real character looks a little different and suddenly you can't watch anymore? That baffles me, to be honest. Okay, it really does. But I guess if you watch people for that superficial reason, have it, go be it. But personally, I don't get that mentality. The only time I completely understand people getting turned off from content when a VTuber reincarnates is if they do what I did, which is where they become a person. Like, yes, this is very different. Okay, I'll give you it. Okay, a bit more jarring, a bit more, damn, this is a real person. Like, I get it. Okay, the immersion's broken, all that. I get it. Okay, I understand. I get it. But otherwise, it really shouldn't matter. And a lot of the times people mourn the loss of these creators or like, oh my God, it's never gonna be the same. The only thing you should mourn is the interactions. In my opinion, the streams of most people that have graduated and reincarnated have been similar vibes. The only person that in my opinion has changed enough to warrant negative pushback is me. And I didn't even change that much, to be honest, okay? I just yapped a little bit more than I did before, which maybe the fear of getting fired helped me a little bit, okay? I'll be honest, all right? My bad, okay? But yeah, I really think like you shouldn't freak out unless the talent says they're not coming back or they want to take a break from the internet. Most of the time they will be back. Most of the time people before graduating have models planned, okay? For example, Kuro had a model planned months in advance. I had one month in advance because I talked to him to plan mine. So most of the time they have a plan, okay? If they're smart. I mean, some people probably stupid. So don't freak out too much. Be ready to support them in their new thing. And if you find their new account and they're posting on it, tell their fans, tell your moots, tell the people in their community so that they can find them again. Because I still to this day have people like literally be like, oh my God, I didn't know you were still making content. I'm so glad I found you again. Like, that's crazy to me. I would assume everyone knows by now, but like realistically, everyone doesn't. So tell their viewers, unless they said they want to stop making content forever, in which case let them be. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think you should support the talents over anything else because the talents literally make the stream the way it is. The company is only the back end. And not to disrespect my former company, they put me on, they did a lot for me. I will never not appreciate them. But that system can be replicated and replaced by any other company with the same amount of money and manpower. It is not a unique system. There's no personality behind it. We got so many VTuber companies. The only difference between companies, in my opinion, is the percentages and the numbers of the contracts, the type of support you get, and how big the company is. But the talents are really what make the company vibe different. That's the thing. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Nobody's saying it, so I feel like somebody should say it, okay? These people don't disappear when they graduate. They just appear somewhere else and you don't find it. So make it easier for the people who are looking for their Oshis that graduated and send them the information. Roll that dough, don't get in the way of my burrito. Although I must confess, so un poco estúpido, but it's okay, I'll get my fix with that perfect burrito.